One of our viewers asked me to make a video on debugging real-time Spring Boot application using IntelliJ IDEA. So today I will going to show you how I am debugging live bugs in the IntelliJ. So first question is why learning debugging is required for an software developer. So every times we cannot log the statement or we cannot to print the statement to get the value. So basically if we want to know the flow of the program, how the data is flowing from the request and going over the services to the repository and coming back and giving the response. So with the debug mode, we can run the applications and we will get the flow. And in this video, we will be learning how to run the application in debug mode, and we will be learning where to keep breakpoint, what are the functions level breakpoints, methods level breakpoints or line breakpoints, and we will be learning some of the key points like how to resume a program, how to step over into a different breakpoint, what is a step into, then step out. We'll be also understanding how to add the different breakpoints on the different services. Also, we'll learn how to mute a breakpoints, and at the end we'll be learning how to evaluate a particular expressions using the evaluate expressions functionality, and later we'll be learning what are the frames, variable, console, threads, memory, those kind of features we will be learning. So let's get started with the video. Before going at the video, I request you please subscribe to the channel to get videos on Java, Spring Boot, microservices, REST API developments. And this video is requested from one of our viewers. So if you want me to cover any specific topic, you can mention those on the comment sections. And if you are facing issue on debugging the applications, you can ask me on the comment section. So let's get started with the video. So we'll clone one of our existing repo, and on that only we'll understand the debugging concept and we'll debug that applications. We already have one repository called AI Spring Boot Hotel Booking, which I make like few days ago on videos. Yeah, so let's me clone this particular repo. So I have already cloned it into the IntelliJ, and we'll understand all the debugging concepts here in this video. So as I was telling, like if we want to understand the flow of the code, for examples, it was controller there. So whenever any API or the methods are hit, then the like debug point or the executions will be come to the controller, and that from controller to different layers, right? So if we want like whatever the values we have given in this particular payload as in JSONs, and are we accepting those on the service class or on the controller class or not? So how do we get that? So if we see, we know this hotel DTO, this particular request, we are having this JSONs, and from this we are converting to the objects. So if we want to know whatever the values that we have passed as an payload, whether we are getting or not, so we can keep like a point, or we can just go to this line number, and if we click it, so if you see, it is an line breakpoint. So this is one of the, like whenever you hit the API, the flow will come and stop here. It is line breakpoints, and if you any method label, so it is in get all hotel method. So if you want to put breakpoint on any method label, it is called the like functions breakpoint or the method breakpoint, and like the execution will stop here. So I will keep if you can keep multiple breakpoint as well. So for example, I will keep one more breakpoints in here, and here also I will be giving one more breakpoints. So this is regarding the breakpoints. And next is how to run the applications in the debug mode. So if you see, we have this main class. So wherever the main class is there, so if you do right click with this run button, you will see debug Spring Boot application is there. So this is means we will be running in debug mode. So if we in some of the cases you have test method, so wherever you see this icon is there, run an icon, and whenever you right click on this run icon, you will get this debug option. So you can, from this also you can run the application in debug mode, or if you see here in the up there is a debug option there, like that also you can debug the application. So I will do right click here and debug the Spring Boot application. So once it start, if we see there will be in the left panel, see there is a debug icon we are getting, one is bug icon we are getting, and these are the different service and different class options. So if you see this applications is running in the debug mode. So let's hit one of the methods. So I already had this particular payload. I will click on the send. So if we see when you click on the send, it is not it is telling it is executing, it is sending the request. Now the flow is coming here. Now we will understand each and every concept one by one. So if we see the flow is coming here, so we'll see this hotel DTO. If we hover over this hotel DTO, whatever the object we have passed, it is loaded here. And also in the console we can see the console log, and there is a thread and variable section is there. So here also we can get this particular fields, and inside this means whatever current classes have all the methods, variables, that will show. So this means this current object have this one hotel service as one of the object. So this object is being instantiated like that. You can get the details like hotel service and the hotel DTO. Now let's understand like how to move to the next flow. Next flow means if we see we are in this position. So if we want to move to the next execution or the next breakpoint, so for that we can click on this resume program. So when you click on this resume program, we will be getting to the next breakpoints. So this is the resume program means, and here if you see this step over, so if you click on the step over, it will be going to the next statement without moving to the next particular breakpoints. So if we click on step into, so whatever this set method is doing, so it is saying like click on this set method, so we can move to that particular step. For now we can move to the next breakpoint. So like that we can do. So if we want to for example your files have lot of breakpoint, and you want to remove one of the breakpoints, so you can do using this. You can just uncheck it and done it. So this breakpoint will be removed. You see previously this line number 25 breakpoint is there, and now it is removed. And if you want to like resume or like run the program without any breakpoint, so you can mute the breakpoint. So there will be no breakpoint, or there will be no pro will not stop. So these are the few functionality. Let's understand one more functionality. Like if we see for example this hotel repository.save is one of the method. So we don't know whether this save method is working perfectly or not. For example this save method is written by us, then we don't know whether this save method is perfectly working or not. So for that, if you select that any statement and click on this evaluate expression, or you can do this 3 dot is there, and if you go to this evaluate expressions, so this means you want to evaluate any expression. So for example your code have lot of if else conditions, lot of and conditions. For example a double equal to b, a dot equals b, or if a greater than. So those kind of condition you can put here, and you can just evaluate expression. So if we do this same method, and if we evaluate expression, it is saying we are getting some result, and it is a successful result. So means this method is working fine. So now let's move to the next breakpoint. So we have moved to the next breakpoint. So like that we can move to the another breakpoint and see how our data is being flowed. So if you see this save hotel, there is another field scheme called save hotel. We had those particular values. Now this is about frame, and if we see previously we are in hotel controller, then we move to this implementation class, and from this implementation class we are in here. So doing moving to this every frames, this is frame means it is going from previous to recent. So previously we are here, next we came to this implementation class. So that is means the frame. And thread means like this current particular executions, how many threads are running, how many threads are waiting state, see how many are in waiting state, running state. So those kind of you can get the details. So for that, if you don't have this thread section, you can go this layout sections, and here you can enable the thread. So I have enabled these threads and this memory also. So if we see in this memory, like whatever the class it's loaded throughout the application, we can check that. So we have click on it. So if we see load classes, so we see this if we search this controller class, controller, which controller, if we see hotel controller, if we see this hotel controller, only one class is being created. So hotel controller count is 1. So only one class or the one object is created throughout the applications. So these are the few functionality you can go through and understand. So let's complete the execution. So we'll mute this breakpoint and we'll complete the executions. Now we can see the we have got the result also. So one pro tip is that, so mostly don't use any logs or any logging functionalities to for a debugging purpose. Try to use the line level debug or the method level debug to debug any particular methods or the particular lines or the expressions. And if you face any issue on debugging your applications, you can comment that on the comment sections. So yeah, thank you for watching the video.